Hollywood has been exploiting disabilities since the beginning of time. Ranging from dwarfism to the blind, the incorporation of disabled characters is nothing new to its classic mold. However, during the late 80s and early 90s, Hollywood began to capitalize on the demand of disabled representation due to the passing of the Disability Rights Act of 1990. As profits in the box office began to skyrocket, Hollywood ignored the actualities of life for those with disabilities, especially those with autism. In the 1993 film classic and comedy drama Rain Man, starring Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman, selfish hustler Charlie Babbitt unexpectedly receives news that his distant father had passed away, leaving his unknown brother Rain Man the rest of his father's fortune. Upon trying to obtain the money Charlie feels he rightfully deserves, he discovers that his brother is an autistic savant living in an institutionalized facility. While the film does bring awareness to autism, Raymond's disability is used as a comic relief to the plot of the story, rather than a major topic of discussion. Furthermore, Raymond is made to be a secondary character, leaving his only purpose throughout the film to be used as a comedic joke. With this setup, Hollywood is telling audiences to laugh at disabilities rather than to try to understand them.
Duck.
There's the duck.
I can't see the duck anywhere. Find him. Look, where's the duck?
Where's the duck?
It's hiding. Find the duck.
Arnie, I don't have time for this. Lift up.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape is another film that highlights autism. It follows 24-year-old grocery clerk Gilbert Grape, played by Johnny Depp, as he cares for his morbidly obese mother and autistic younger brother Arnie, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. The film reflects the idea that those who have mental illnesses cannot be productive people within society, and furthermore cannot even live among the dominant society, as they do not behave in a normal manner. Instead, Hollywood tells us that the only way for Arnie to survive is to be placed within a mental institution, as it would be in the best interest for him and Gilbert.
Hello. My name's Forrest Gump. Do you want a chocolate?
Another film similarly following the comic relief mold of Rain Man is Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is an American comedy drama starring Tom Hanks that is centered on the life of Forrest Gump, who was born with an undescribed learning disability. As the film follows Forrest throughout the decades of his life, Hollywood uses humor to lighten up dark matters by using Forrest's disability and the misunderstandings of situations he has because of it.
I do?
Most of Forrest's experiences are outlandish and over the top, to the point of make-believe. Claude Smith, author and psychologist of Finding a Warmer Place for Someone We Know, states that Hollywood created Forrest Gump to be viewed as a comic fantasy and should be treated as such by the audience. This notion knocks the possibility of any true disability awareness, as it reigns on a make-believe spectrum rather than reality.
That's all I had to say about that.
I met Sean Murphy when he was 14 years old.
While Hollywood has compiled together a series of over-dramatized film representations and has used humor to trivialize autistic characters or characters with mental disabilities, television programming today has begun to create a shift in the view of such individuals. ABC's The Good Doctor, directed by David Shore, is a series that stars and follows young autistic savant Dr. Sean Murphy, played by Freddie Higglemore, as he works as a surgical resident at San Jose St. Bonavart Hospital.
He's breathing. He saved his life. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Sean Murphy. I'm a surgical resident at San Jose St. Bonaventure Hospital.
The series touches on controversial topics that surround the autistic community today, including the hiring of autistic individuals. The series also combats the limitations placed on the autistic community by the dominant society. Carol Margot, a motivational speaker who is diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified, a form of autism, speaks about The Good Doctor, stating that the show is needed and relevant in society today.
We give hope to those people with limitations that those limitations are not what they think they are, that they do have a shot.
Hey, Madison, would you like to go on a date with me?
That so nice, but I'm busy.
Okay.
Atypical is a scripted Netflix original created by Roba Rashid that follows 18-year-old Sam Gardner in his day-to-day life while living on the spectrum. Throughout the series, viewers get to see Sam experience life like much of teens his age, including working his first job, experiencing love and heartbreak, graduating high school, and setting up for his future. Sam's character shows the world that people with autism can be independent, unlike that which was previously displayed in the Hollywood films. While not all in Sam's life is easy or the exact same as the dominant society, his outbreaks are much milder and true to representation of what autistic individuals actually go through. Atypical and The Good Doctor break the mold Hollywood has created, and have benefited the autistic community in doing
Sometimes I
so.
wish I was normal.
Dude, nobody's normal.
Hollywood capitalized on the disabled community during the late 80s and early 90s by exploiting autistic individuals through their inaccurate portrayals. Depiction allows for the stigmatization of mental disabilities as well as stereotypes to continue throughout society. Continuation of these ideals hinder those within the autistic community by placing them into a mold that Hollywood has created. Television of today has gone against the stereotypical mold and has the power to overthrow previous assumptions. With greater representation of the community, disabled and autistic individuals have the opportunity to flourish within the dominant society.